Let us talk about role of mindfulness practice, or we can say let us talk about the power of now, or how could we live into the present moment awareness. This is the divine moment which is available right now. How could you live into the thought of the past or the future right now? You cannot, even if you want to. The past has already moved into different dimension. The past is made of worry, anxiety, memory, flashback. The future has not come so far. And the future is made of imagination, projection, goal, dream, ambition, whatsoever it is. So if I am talking with you guys at this moment, I should be aware, mindful of whatsoever things are going right now. Just for example, if I am sharing my talk about mindfulness practice in a class, we should present physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, by whatsoever ways. Then we can celebrate this present moment awareness. But at the same time, if I keep on thinking about my father, mother, job, so many things, I cannot celebrate this beautiful present moment awareness. Moreover, we are missing this present moment awareness. And when you miss it, this present moment awareness, you miss everything in your life. As I said, past is made of worry, anxiety, flashback, and it has already moved into different dimensions. So we can let go and disconnect with the thought of the past or the future with the help of mindfulness practice, which I'm going to talk later on. Therefore, anxiety happens, therefore the depression happens. Therefore, most of the psychiatric disorders are happening into our life. Why? Because we are holding the thought of the past. We are not able to let go and disconnect with it. So the mindfulness practice teaches us how to live into the present moment awareness by bringing the sensation of awareness of the breath, because breath is a life force energy. The more we connect with the breath, what will happen? It will help us to get rid of the thought of worry, the thought of anxiety, the thought of past, I can say. I know it is very difficult to get rid of all kinds of the thought of the past or the future. It doesn't matter. Still we can try, in deep relaxation way, Still we can go and connect with the nature and connect with the fully negative ion and oxygenated air, and then we try to live into the present moment awareness in order to dissolve our mind, because the mind will take us into the thought of the past, of the future. The whole property of the mind is not to live into the present moment awareness. It will try to connect with so many useless and unwanted thought of desire, the thought of ego, the thought of worry, anxiety, goal, dream, ambition. Ego says, I am powerful, I am superior, I want to hurt somebody else. I can bring so much anger, hate, jealousy to somebody else. So when such kind of the things will happen, automatically we are moving into the thought of the past or the future. So how could we live into the present moment awareness when you are living with the mind, when you are living with the ego? You cannot. Ego says who we are, but it doesn't say who we really are. Ego tries to separate us in the form of creating an illusion of separation, because it is present on the circumference. Ego never let you to move at the center of being. Ego is the obstacles on the path of to live into the present moment awareness. Therefore, when we go for mindfulness practice, we have to transcend our ego. Ego is the root cause of all kind of pain and suffering into our life. If I'm not talking my neighbors, if I'm not talking my parents, why I'm not talking with my parents or neighbor? Because I'm living with ego. I have so much useless and unwanted thought in the form of ego, which is separating me in order to connect with my parents, with my family members, with my neighbors. Because ego is a false illusion of separation. It never aware us about the hidden potential. Therefore, we need to transcend our ego. We need to transcend our mind. Ego says, I want to become a millionaire, billionaire. Why? Because I want to rule the world. I want to rule the country. Again, it is a illusion of separation. It is not right. So why can't we celebrate this present moment awareness? So as soon as we keep on celebrating this present moment awareness, we can move, we can let go of the thought of anxiety, worry, flashback, memory into different dimension, and we can live beautifully. Can you laugh in the past? You cannot laugh in the past. How could you live and laugh in the past? You cannot. Can we talk in the past? We cannot. Because whatever words I am sharing right now, it is happening into the present moment awareness. As I said in the beginning, if I am educating the people and if you are living into the thought of the past or the future, you cannot gain any knowledge from me. Why? Because you are lost into the thought of the mind. And the mind, as I said, it is a full of darkness, it is a full of separation. Mind will create confusion. Mind will take you into the thought of the past or the future. Mind will try to bring all pain and suffering. Therefore, we need to decondition our mind in order to live with no mind state, which is also called pure present state. What is that? It means we have to move beyond words, thought, action. So when we live into the present moment awareness, in order to dissolve our mind in the form of pure awareness, what will happen? We can celebrate each and every moment. Because this is the divine moment exists right now. So why can't we connect with the divine moment, with the present moment awareness? So the more we connect with the present moment awareness, the better we can discover our hidden potential, the better we can know who we really are, the better we can understand the secret and the mystery of life, the better we can connect with the higher source of energy, the better we can connect with the higher power. And as soon as we emit the frequency of higher source of energy, what will happen? The whole universe will try to support us. They would like to take care of us. If I am educating the people right now, as I said before also, we have to present physically, mentally, spiritually, psychologically, by whatsoever ways, then we can enjoy with this present moment awareness. We cannot laugh in the past. We can laugh only into the present moment awareness. So why can't we connect with the laugh, with the laughing? So the more we connect with the laughing, what will happen? It will try to dissolve all kinds of the useless and unwanted thought. But most of the people who are living with the mind, with the ego, even they cannot laugh. You know why? Because they are living with the thinking mind. They are living with the chattering and the wandering of the mind. If you ask them to laugh, they would like to go into the thought of the past or the future. They would like to go into the form of the mind or the ego, and they cannot laugh. They cannot dance. They cannot sing a song, because they are living into the thought of illusion of separation. Most of the discovery, innovation, happen into the present moment awareness. Just think about the Newton who discovered the gravitational force. Basically what he did, he just noticed and witnessed of falling of an apple from the trees. there would have been lots of the people, who would have seen the falling of apple from the trees, but none of them were aware, mindful, and witness of it, like how it is falling from the trees because of the gravitational force which is pulling them. But he was totally present in that moment of awareness. He just observed and witnessed it, and it became the discovery. So what I'm trying to say, if you want to be discoverer, explorer, if you want to create something new in the world, what we have to do, we have to live from moment to moment. We have to celebrate this beautiful present moment awareness, and we need to connect with the higher source of energy. And how it is possible? When we are living in the now, when we can access the power of now with the help of mindfulness practice, and then we can discover, we can innovate something new. Let me share my example, which is a very powerful example. As long as I was in India, I used to live into the thought of the past or the future every time, most of the time, I can say, when I was kid, when I was young, right? And therefore I have written the book, the Practicing the Power of Present Moment Awareness book. The whole reason behind writing a book, because I had suffered in pain, negativity, darkness, depression, anxiety. Why? Because I used to live into the thought of the past or the future. Even as long as I tried to interact with my parents, my family members, my friend, just for any kind of conversation, I noticed I was not present, I was not aware, you know. Rather, I would be thinking about fun, movie, rather I would be thinking about something else while talking, while doing any kind of activity. Means mentally I was at some other place, physically I was present with my friends, with my relatives, with my family members. So later on I noticed that I'm going into the thought of depression, the thought of anxiety, and I'm connecting more with the mind. As I said, mind will try to take you into the thought of the past or the future. So what has happened to me, as long as I interact with my family members, with my friends, physically I was there, but mentally I was at some other place. So I noticed that all kinds of negativity started taking place into my life. But gradually, after some time, when I started connecting with the nature, when I started getting awakened, when my life started getting changes, as soon as I connected with the nature, later on I realized why I was having a thought of depression, why I was having a thought of anxiety, why I was a thought of, some negativity, darkness, because I was not present in each and every moment, rather I was living into the memory, dream, ambition, goal, and ultimately it has affected my productivity, which brought me depression, which brought me anxiety and some kind of different disorders. So what I'm trying to say, later on when I realize it, then I have written a book like why can't I help lots of the people who are living the way I was living long time ago, who could be living into the thought of the past or the future, and they would have got so much pain in the form of depression and anxiety. So why can't I help those kind of the people? Because I have victim of it. I had a victim of it. I had gone for the suffering. So my life got awakened later on when I started living from moment to moment, when I started celebrating each and every moment, and I witnessed of those kind of the moment from where I was and where I am right now. So that was my whole purpose of writing a book, to help the people in order to live into the present moment awareness by let go and disconnect with the thought of anxiety, with the thought of past, any kind of the worry, flashback, and even you can get rid of the thought of the future as well. Like you don't have to be too much dream, ambition, goal, still I never say that you don't have to be too much ambition, goal, dream, The more you live into the present moment awareness by celebration of it, even you can take control of the past or the future. How? When you live with this present moment awareness, as I said, it is a divine moment. It is a beautiful moment, So when you live with this present moment awareness, automatically whatever goal, dream, ambition you wanted to become, doctor, engineer, scientist, whatsoever, there is some power which come from inside, in the form of intuition, in the form of inner guidance, in the form of some deep power from within yourself, that will guide you, like, okay, you have to become a doctor, you have to become a scientist, whatsoever. But here you are not struggling or working hard, but you are getting connected with the higher source of energy, because you are living with this present moment awareness. So as soon as you connect with this present moment awareness, you are get rid of the thought of ambition, the thought of desire, the thought of goal, whatsoever, and you are getting connected with the higher source of energy, and higher source of energy will guide you from inside. So instead of getting too many useless thought, the higher source of energy is guiding you, like, okay, you can be research scholar, you can be, you can be doctor, so when you connect with the higher source of energy in order to create a powerful and wonderful thoughts, what will happen? You can get rid of all kinds of the useless thought of goal, ambition, dream. However, the beautiful thought in the form of ambition and dream is giving you with the help of the higher power, and when you follow from the deepest core of your heart, what will happen? Your life is blissful, your life is very much powerful, and you can do whatsoever you want into your life. And that how it is happening? When we live mindfully, when we are aware of each and every moment, when we are celebrating this present moment awareness. Tomorrow never comes, remember. Tomorrow exists in the future. As I said, past has already moved into different dimension. The future has not come so far. Tomorrow exists in the future. So why can't we connect with this present moment awareness? So as soon as we try to connect with this present moment awareness, what will happen? You are getting control of the past or the future. As I said in the last conversation, that when you connect with this present moment awareness, you are getting intuitive, you are getting some inner guidance from higher source of energy. So when you are connect with inner guidance, what will happen? Tomorrow will never come, because you are going to make tomorrow by living into the present moment awareness, and that's what it is. Force always create resistance. Remember, it is a very important thing. When you go to a country like India, China, some Asian country, even myself, when I was in India, I have been forced by my parents, like, you have to become a doctor, you have to become this, you have to become that, because those countries are different kind of rules, regulation, there are so many, challenges, obstacles, population is huge, there are so many things over there. So what is happening? And the opportunities are not too many, right, depending on the number of the population. So what is happening? There is a cutthroat competition, every places, whether in the job, whether in education, any kind of the industries, right? So therefore what happens in those country, parents says, if you don't study well, what will happen? You cannot survive, so therefore you have to study medical science, and you have to become a doctor, you have to study the engineering science, you have to become engineer, because these are the demanding profession in those countries. But when we live in Canada, here the things are different. It's totally different, here whatever you want, you can study, you can follow your passion, you can be doctor, you can be engineer, depending of whatsoever you like it from the deepest core of the heart. But especially when you talk about those countries, we have been forced, like, we have to study this, we have to study that, and force create resistance. However, in order to survive in those countries, we need to follow the force as well. But force never work, it will never ever work, therefore we cannot be passionate about whatsoever things has happened in those countries. So when I came to this country, I started following my passion, whatever I wanted to do since childhood, as soon as I shared my experiences, life journey, like, I wanted to become a teacher, I wanted to educate the people, I wanted to help the people in the form of whatsoever knowledge, experiences which I got it. So as soon as I come to this country, I started following my passion, and how it is possible when I live mindfully, when I live with awareness, when I live without any resistance, when I live with just in deep relaxation, when I live, I started connecting with the nature, when I started enjoying with the nature. So what I'm trying to say, force always create resistance. Therefore, live here right now in a deep relaxation, no matter what happens. But remember, life happens in both way. Life exists in both way, because meditation is act of doing from non-doing. Or I can say meditation is act of non-doing from doing. What does it mean? Means life exists in the physical form by working hard, but at the same time we have to relax also, because when we go for the relaxation in the form of mindfulness practice, we can work from the higher source of energy. Instead of collecting useless and unwanted thought, we can connect with so much powerful and awesome thoughts, and then we can work at the higher level. And how it is possible? When we live in the deep relaxation state. With a deep relaxation state, we can discover beautiful thoughts, we can create beautiful thoughts, and then we can start working hard, right? Because we live in the physical world, not out of the world, where there are lots of the challenges, lots of the obstacles. And how it is possible? When we live mindfully, when we live with awareness of whatsoever things are happening into the present moment awareness. Let us talk about internal cleansing, which is very important nowadays. Most of the people are living in this world with hate, jealousy, anger, fear, lots of negative emotions, and it keep on accumulating within ourselves. Therefore, we are living into the thought of the past or the future. Why? Because the more you connect with the fear, anger, hate, resentment, what will happen? You will try to compare, you will try to complain, about one another. You will try to hurt somebody else. Why? You are feeling hate, you are feeling jealousy, you are feeling anger, you are feeling fear. So what you are going to do? You will hurt somebody else. You try to create pain in others' life. And ultimately what will happen? You are not living right now mindfully. Why? Because you have connected so many negative thought emotion within yourself, and it will create more chattering and the wandering of the mind. And the more, when you live with the mind, what will happen? You are connected with the ego. You will try to create problem for the people, you try to create problem for the societies, communities. Ultimately every person is getting affected. So what we have to do? We have to go for internal cleansing. And how it is possible? That's what the mindfulness practice says. Like, the more we connect with ourselves, with the higher source of energy, however this negative emotion exists, but why can't we connect with the beautiful books? Why can't we connect with the beautiful people? Why can't we connect with the beautiful source of energy, right? Like the nature, water, mountain, rocks. So as soon as you connect with the higher source of energy, when you go for a motivational seminar, when you learn, grow, evolve, and rather you need to break down your limiting belief system, which is very important nowadays. What happens? Because when you created such kind of the limiting belief system, as long as you have been living in this country, in this world for 5 years, 20 years, 50 years, whatsoever years, there is a belief is coming around you. Like, I have to connect with negative emotion. As I said, the more you try to hurt somebody else, the more you feel better. The more you become jealousy to somebody else, you feel better, right? But what is happening basically? It is taking you into the thought of the past or the future. So it is creating some kind of the limiting belief. It is not going to open you to the higher possibilities. Life is full of possibilities, opportunities, endless opportunities. See, the water is flowing into the river. See, there is a mountain, the water is on the ocean. Every places there is opportunities, possibilities. But what is happening? We are living with the limiting belief system. So when we live with the limiting belief system, we don't want to learn, grow, evolve to the infinite possibilities. Why? Because whatever we think, that is right. But it is not the way. As I said, there is endless opportunity. full of resources. School, colleges, universities, library, there are so many people who wanted to help you. But how could you take a help from somebody else when you try to break down your limiting belief system? But as long as you are holding the limited belief system in the form of hate, jealousy, worry, anxiety, what will happen? You cannot grow. So therefore, mindfulness practice help us to break down our limiting belief system, and it will help us to get rid of all kind of negative thought, emotion in the form of internal cleansing, and then you can reach towards the higher level of the consciousness. You can feel more courageous, you can feel more loving, forgiveness, kindness, compassion. You can do, then you start thinking about learning, growing, and moving to the infinite possibilities. But most of the people are stuck. It is not easy to change the belief system. Even they attend seminar, they attend and meet with beautiful people for the time being, and after some times again they would like to go back to their own belief system. Again they would like to be happy to live with the negative thought, emotions. So the mindfulness practice help us to break down our limiting belief system. As I said, when you connect with the life force energy, when we look within ourselves, when we move inside, what is happening? Basically we are breaking down the limiting belief system, and it is happening in autopilot. Why? Because as I said, when we connect with the higher source of energy, with the awareness of the breath, what will happen? It will melt our ego, it will break down our ego, it will shatter our mind, it will break down our limiting belief system, and then we can go to the towards the higher possibilities, where we can connect with the beautiful soul, beautiful people, and then we can do some internal, this is called the internal cleansing, and then we can do whatever we want into our life. Why can't we learn the art of living into the present moment awareness from the kids? Have you ever seen the kids? Oh, let me start from the beginning. When the child is born, what is happening? Is totally unaware, or I can say he's totally innocent, and as long as he started growing up and up, after 6 months, after 5 months, after 1 year, his mind has been conditioned and programmed by his father, mother, relatives, societies, communities, and then we are started creating some kind of the limiting belief system. But when he was born, he was totally innocent, he was very much aware, alert. But as soon as the society, the communities, the parents are conditioning, are programming his mind, what is happening? He started living with the mind, right? And when he goes up to 20 years, 30 years, what happened? He started judging, labeling, and there would be chattering and the wandering of the thoughts by living into the past or the future. Let us ignore this part. Why can't we connect here? Where if I say we need to observe each and every activity of the kids when he was around 3 months, 4 months, 1 year or 2 year, we can learn so many things from the kids. Have you ever seen the kids when they go for sleeping, they sleep immediately, without any thinking mind. But when we go for sleeping, what we do basically, we will be thinking about the past, we will be thinking about the future in the form of job, in the form of wife, in the form of work, there's so many things, because we live with the mind. Therefore we cannot sleep properly as well. Why? Because we are connected with so many useless and unwanted thought, and that will take you into the thought of the past or the future. But as soon as the kids go for sleeping, they immediately sleep without thinking mind, and then that we can learn the art of present moment awareness from the kid, because they are very innocent, they don't live with the mind, they live with the heart. Why? Because they are totally aware of each and every moment. Have you ever seen, whenever they laugh, they keep on laughing without obstacles, without any problem, because they are totally living from moment to moment. They are totally celebrating this present moment awareness. So why can't we laugh the way they laugh? Yes, we could laugh, but we cannot laugh. We are so much stuck with the thought of the past, with the thought of the future. We are living with so much anxiety, worry, depression, thinking about the future. Therefore, we are missing this present moment awareness, and therefore we cannot laugh. Even if we laugh, there is some deception, there is some manipulation is coming in our laughing. Why? Because we live with the mind. We try to hurt somebody else, we try to manipulate somebody else, and that's what we do. But the kids are totally innocent. They are totally living with alert, they are totally living mindfully. So we can learn this kind of the art from the kids. Have you ever seen whenever they play, they are totally present? Just for elephant ride, whenever they go for fun, they are totally present physically, mentally, spiritually, and they celebrate the present moment awareness by living right now here. But whenever we go for play, fun, or whatsoever, we are still thinking about the past, we are still thinking about the future. So we are missing this present moment awareness. So why can't we learn so many things from the kids in order to remain mindful? Thanks.